So I was just watching You Got Served 2 days ago for the first time in a very long time since when I was a kid. And I seen someone actually made a post that said, You Got Served is stupid because no way in heck am I going to be sitting up here selling crack to dance. Okay. And I was watching this movie and I became very disappointed because I was like, man, this movie is not at all what I remember seeing, so I was like, oh man, but I'm in it, okay? I was like, I'm in it, so I gotta do what I gotta do, okay? I gotta watch it. And I'm watching this. I said, this don't make sense. I said, this kind of stupid. We gonna keep it real. So here's the thing. You got a duffel bag. Oh man, let me go get my bag. You got a duffel bag. That bag was about the size of this bag. Now, when I was younger, I thought they were selling, like weed or something like that. And then, my boyfriend, he was like, no, I think they're selling that crack. So I'm like, okay, you got a bag about the size of this, okay? The size of this. You got crack in there. How much money could this stuff be worth? Because the guy was like, "Oh well, this is worth a lot of money. It's a lot of money worth in that bag." So I'm wondering. I'm like, this has to be like $10 million. Coke, y'all. Here's an egg. A thing of Coke is probably half the size of this and half the width, less than half. So crack. So I'm like, I guess I'm confused. Okay. One, crack cocaine and, crack and coke, same thing on a molecular level. But I'm looking, I'm like, I guess I'm confused about this because that's a lot to put that in there. I'm like, you gotta have what? You gotta have at least 10,000 bags in there, at least. So I'm like, well, how much are you selling this for? How much? This has to be, he was saying $1 million. I say 10 million because that's a lot of bags up in here. Okay. But I'm going to say five, but let's just say 1 million, even if it's $1 million. Then you had L. He's like, oh, I gotta go. And he was like, oh well, I gotta go and do this dance competition because that way I could go and pay off the drug lord dude, and then I could go and help my mama out, right? There's about 10 people, and then during the championship, the little tiebreaker or whatever, they had like a total of around 10 to 12 people splitting $50,000. And you're getting less than $1,000. You're going to split it with everybody. You're going to use less than $1,000 to pay off $1 million worth of inventory back to homeboy and take care of your mama and help put your sister through medical school. That don't make sense. I was like, this stuff doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? The acting was so bad. That mixed chick off of My Wife and Kids, her acting, she was like, oh, oh, Mr. Rad, I mean, my brother, he owes so much money. And then he was like, man, Mr. Rad, Steve Harvey, everything that goes on in his neighborhood and all this stuff. I'm like, so you paid this man $1 million? You had $1 million worth of debts. Meanwhile, when in your hat, the ball cap, when people win at the end of the day, they're only getting like what? Because you said $5,000 was a lot of money. They're like, oh, it's a lot of money. What's the pots? $1,000 a night? But you somehow got $1 million plus. Just, y'all, this don't make sense. I said this movie. I originally wanted to watch Something Art, but I had it conflated. I was thinking of Columbus Short and Chris Brown, but the name You Got Served came out, and I said, well, I'm already in it. But y'all, that movie don't make any sense. I was just like, What is even this doesn't make sense. None of it. And then you had this bag and they just happened to jump you when your boy was out, having smoothies with your sister. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think? This didn't make any sense to me.